Today we're going to be taking a look at the top stocks to buy. Big question mark behind buy. We're going to use a technical perspective to analyze what the price action behind these stocks and determine what the most likely outcome is in tomorrow's trading action. If this video is useful for you, please do consider subscribing to the chart, guys. Hitting the like button. I hate asking, but it helps us tremendously. The YouTube algorithm cares about very few things, and those are them. So PLTR is our first ticker of the day. Interesting because this is a prime example of how technical analysis can benefit us, even on tickers that are brand new. We barely had an hour's worth of data, and we are already starting to develop an equilibrium pattern. An equilibrium pattern is when you get an overall tightening range. There's our high, our initial open, our high, the low of our first pullback, our first lower high, and then we get a higher low with a bit of basis support. We have a 1 penny double top between 1084 and 1085. We come down, break 1061, which is a former level of consolidation, and then the bears just pour it on for most of the afternoon. So a beautiful tightening range, nice equilibrium, and a great follow through. EQ bear plays are tremendous, so keep a close eye. And I'm going to talk a lot about equilibriums because they're one of my favorite patterns to trade. They show that perfect tipping point of balance where the price can really go either direction, and they give us these beautiful little signals to tell us that one direction is more likely than the other. And that is what we're doing technical analysis. We're looking for the most likely outcome. So how does this help us tomorrow? Well, it doesn't give us a heck of a lot. What it does tell us is that we can use the overall range for the day to start looking for periods of consolidation. So let's go and mark that out. We got our lows and our highs. Not a lot of help, eh? Then what we're going to do is go to the 15-minute time frame and say, do we detect any sort of pattern developing yet? Not really. On the 5-minute time frame, we got the potential for a 5-minute downtrend because anything underneath the spike of our initial after hours move is going to be a 5-minute lower high. That is the level of resistance for us to watch going into tomorrow. 998, depending what we do in our pre-market session tomorrow, 998 will be a key level for us to watch. Best case scenario, we set up an inside bar, meaning we stay inside the range between yesterday's low and high, tighten up even further, build an EQ on a longer term pattern, or barring that, perhaps just a 5-minute uptrend, something that gives us a sense of direction and stability. That's what we want to see on PLTR. Until that happens, watch the 2-minute time frame, react and plan to react to pattern developments. Next up, TAN. TAN I talked about in yesterday's video. I sold my position this morning and it just kept going a little bit. I'm still expecting some consolidation. We now have 4 green bars. This was 1, 2, 3, so we were expecting some reversal. Possible volume climax here, much like we saw on the big drop here. When you get a volume climax situation, you see a massive increase in shares being traded because there's a rush, people rushing in, but even more people rushing out, trading those shares, and you get into a pitch battle. Often, it's akin to just running out of gas near the top. You've burned up all of your energy, and now you need to consolidate. So on the weekly time frame, where are we? Well, we are moving very, very aggressively. Our weekly high or low is set, and we can go here, mark that in. On the daily time frame, the big breakout is not going to be a surprise to those who have been watching this tightening range, almost an equilibrium pattern. And in fact, I think you can make an argument for it, but it's also a close to a ascending triangle, meaning we've got our base of support established and a nice clean area of resistance from which we see that springboard type action. And a big breakout over 57.95. So now we're looking for consolidation. We're looking for pullback. The question is, when does it come? On the 4-hour time frame, we haven't consolidated in quite some time. I think I'm going to give 54.23, the 4-hour level. On the hourly time frame, we have a little bit of consolidation down here. Basis support 62.40. As long as bulls maintain hourly higher lows, there is no stopping them. 4-hour time frame, we're going to look for a loss of consecutive 4-hour higher lows. Once that starts in, we're going to be looking for something over 62.40. Once we lose 62.40, we back up and we look for daily consolidation. The ideal thing for me would be for these bears to drive the price right back to 57.95, give us an important daily consolidation because we are overbought. That would get us back into regular territory, and it would give us a great opportunity to buy a very, very strong overall stock against a known level of resistance, hopefully becoming a bit of support. So the bulls are currently in control of almost everything on TAN. Let's watch for those signs of consolidation and keep hunting for those long-term entry opportunities. BA. Is a fun chart. Okay, the important levels here. The reason I zoomed out is because I loaded my chart, zoomed in, and I said, what the heck is going on here? I can see that we have beautiful 15-minute bull flag pre-market. We ran right up to 169.75, but we blew through it and pulled back. And I've got another level here, which tells me that there is a cloud of resistance. That's how I imagine it, sitting up here. Now I'm going to go back and take a look at what has happened. We see that cloud over here. We see that congestion here. We see it acting as support here, congestion here. You get the idea. This level has come into play many, many times. And we can see just it's consistently important. This is a low from July. So bulls are currently in control. 4-hour time frame has had a beautiful extended bull flag. We've seen the price getting above it into our zone of resistance, but we haven't cleared that obstacle yet. So if we are looking for a long entry, what we want to do is wait until we get above that cloud. Then we can take a little bit more of a long-term look at BA. Even then, our resistance at that point is going to be, well, ultimately up here, 189.53, and in which we encounter another zone of resistance, 189.97, 189.53. Same idea here, up here. But if we can get through this big mess, we have an opportunity to continue a 4-hour trend, which has the potential to reverse with our higher high, higher low. Now we need to see another higher high, higher low, lock in that trend, and things will be looking pretty good for the bulls. But until then, we do have this big, ugly area of congestion to watch out for. Hourly support is going to be down here at 161.10. We can come all the way down there and still be setting hourly higher lows. And that is our 4-hour support as well. So don't be surprised to see some extended consolidation here as we flesh out this 15-minute current downtrend. If we can see a 15-minute uptrend change tomorrow in favor of the bulls, watch for that congestion. Don't FOMO this. Let's wait till we get through this big, ugly cloud, because until then, it's just going to be looming over us. AAL, somewhat similar chart. AAL on the daily time frame. Tons of action in this range, and I bet you if we go turn on our fun little volume profile, yeah, you see how that works, showing us that all the volume that trades at this level. That means that there is going to be some more significant congestion that we need to work through. Now we are currently underneath that on the daily time frame. This choppy action here, I see red, green, 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 red, red. I can already tell that's going to be a 4-hour trend change. We go into the 4-hour time frame. There's our low, lower high, lower low, higher low. Bulls have changed the course in the short term for these, well, for the 4-hour chart. Here is our current support level, 1203. Bulls currently in control of the 4-hour time frame, looking for a break over 1315. Go back to the daily time frame. Does that get us through this mess? Not really. We still have some work to do. So we can look for a 4-hour grind. Ultimately, we need to get above 14 psychological, 1408. This is the area and zone of congestion that the AAL bulls need to deal with. Here you can see, I'm just going to stack all of these lines of support resistance. That is what we need to get over top of. Go back to the 4-hour time frame, get a higher high, higher low. Let's draw that out. Here's a potential move. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right into resistance. Who knows? Maybe we get ourselves a descending wedge. What we do know is that currently bulls are in control of the 4-hour time frame. We have resistance at 1315, a big bunch of resistance up just above 14 psychological that short-term bulls need to be cautious of. Long-term bulls want to get over top of that level and look for continued upside. And support 1203, 1122. Last one, DDOG. Big volume day, profit taking already. I don't like the profit taking, but I like the volume. Just getting into overbought conditions on the daily time frame. So what I'm going to do is just keep hunting around until I see something useful on the hourly time frame. Possible hourly equilibrium setting up. Looks a little bit better on the 30-minute time frame, which is not something that I regularly use, but here we are. We have a little bit of support from our 15-minute time frame at 165. We have not yet confirmed a higher low above that level. It's not an hourly bull flag, but these are some ranges to watch. The interesting thing about these big moves is that we can easily lose that 100 level and go all the way back down to the low of the day 89.43, or I should say the low of the 4-hour time frame. It is low a day, and still be in a 4-hour uptrend. So what we need to do is allow these bulls on the hourly time frame to find their home, establish a base of support, and then use those short-term patterns to find our launch pad for the next phase to the upside. So let's play some hypotheticals. Let's go to the 5-minute time frame. Let's say we tomorrow drive the price up a bit, come back down, reconfirm that support, reconfirm it again, and then we develop a 5-minute trend change. What that does is it gives us a lot of confidence. These are supposed to be arrows. A lot of confidence in entering a short-term bull position because we have a clearly defended level of support that we can place a stop loss against. Below that, we have 165. So we want to give these hourly bulls an opportunity. Let them show us what they want to do, where they're going to place their support. And when they do that, we will have a better position and idea about how we're going to treat this trade. Anything bullish, I would be very, very cautious about. Not that I doubt the bulls in their strength, it's just that we are already overbought. And I know that when we move up quickly, we can consolidate pretty quickly. Going back to TAN, look at the 5-minute time frame here. Big move up, big move down. The less time you spend establishing supports, the more quickly your price can drop. And that, going back to BA, we see that we have just established a ton of congestion in this area. Without that congestion, price can move very, very quickly. So if we lose 165, we have no support anywhere until 89.43, which is a pretty substantial move, almost 12%, something like that. So keep a close eye on DDOG. I think I'm talking in circles now. Key resistance levels for tomorrow, $107.99. Key support, 165 and 89.43. That's it. If this was useful for you, again, I appreciate you watching to the end. Please consider subscribing, liking, doing all of the things. Comment, I will answer a question. That's, I think, the most we can do with our YouTube experience together. Okay, if you have any requests, how about that? If you have any requests for tickers and you've listened all the way to the end, let me know. I'll cover them tomorrow. Take care and good luck tomorrow.